Lucas Prime here, so it is time for the next episode of Movie That Deserves a Sequel, and in today's video I'm going to be covering this time an example of a fantasy action movie which I would love to see a sequel to, and this is a film which actually features grown-up versions of two children from a fairy tale, of course, by the Brothers Grimm, and this, of course, which I think does deserve a sequel, is, of course, none other than 2013's Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. So, you guys are going to be asking, what did I think of this movie? So, I saw this film a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, and I must say that I had a really fun time watching it. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a very underrated film too, I must say, and I think it deserves more attention. And it's got a great cast of actors. So, for example, of course, the two title characters, Hansel and Gretel, are played by Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton. I think they were both great in their roles, and the film also has great supporting roles played by actors such as, for example, Peter Stormare, and also as well, Famke Janssen, my favourite Dutch actress of all time as well, as the evil Grand Witch Muriel, and many others as well who are really great in this too as well, who are definitely a lot of fun to watch. And I also think as well the action scenes were also really good too, and the story was actually really good. So I like how, of course, this film took two characters from a fairy tale and, of course, made it into like a mature film. And I think it handled it really well because it told their story as adults now, not as children. It actually made them be older. And I think that really helped the film be more for mature audiences, really, because the film does have its fair share of some dark moments, and I thought that was really good, to be honest. I think they did a really good job handling that. And I definitely really enjoyed the film. So, on the topic of why I think this film deserves a sequel, so the film has a pretty good ending where, of course, after, of course, defeating Muriel and collecting the reward for rescuing children and from who, of course, were kidnapped before, Hansel and Gretel head out on their next witch hunt, who are now accompanied by the characters Ben and Edward. So, right there, I could clearly see if they were trying to do a sequel setup right there. So, it's clear they wanted to do another film, maybe. So, I'd love to see a sequel, of course, where these two characters come back and maybe they encounter more fairy tale characters, which could be really great. So, I definitely love to see that happen, really. So, maybe give them like a new story and have them come back to hunt more supernatural or fairy tale creatures. I think it'd be a really good concept, really. Sadly, however, when it comes to, of course, the future, when it comes to this franchise, potentially, there has been talks of sequels, but sadly, they've never been confirmed or greenlit, unfortunately. And the reports come out in various years, but unfortunately, those years have been and gone, like 2016, for example, when they reported our release for. Sadly, that's been and gone, never happened. And 7 years later, there's been no sequel. And the director of this film as well, Tommy Wirkola, has also said he would not want to do a sequel because he wants to do standalone things. I mean, fair enough, but I think this is one of those films which does deserve a sequel. And there has also been talks of other directors as well directing it, but unfortunately, this sequel has not been greenlit or confirmed, which is a massive shame, because I think this film definitely does deserve a sequel, and I'd love to see it become a franchise too, because I think it was definitely a lot of fun. And I definitely think now, of course, now that Jeremy Renner, of course, seems to have been done playing Hawkeye in the MCU, I think this could be a character he could probably bring back to the big screen, maybe. That could be really great, wouldn't it? So, I would definitely really love to see, of course, him come back as Hansel and Gemma Arterton come back as Gretel, among other characters too, who survived the first film, could also come back as well, which could be really great to see. So, I really hope they do a sequel, because it's unfortunately been 10 years now since the first film, and unfortunately we've not got a sequel since, which is a massive shame. So, in the meantime, guys, what I'll do is I will get the first film on Blu-ray, hopefully if I can find it, and I'll keep rewatching it with hope we'll do a sequel to it. I really hope we'll do one. And I might also post a review for this film, because I personally think it's an underrated gem that I think deserves more attention and deserves more love. Because I think it was really good. I was actually recommended by my favourite YouTuber, Empire Fan Productions, because he recommended it to one of my birthday posts for one of the actors in this. So I thought I'd give it a watch one day, and I finally did. And Jay, you were definitely right about this film being good, because I definitely really enjoyed it if you're watching this. And I really hope it gets a sequel. So, guys, long story short, I personally think Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters is definitely an example of a fantasy film that I would love to see a sequel to. Absolutely. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to tell us in the comments what you guys think of Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. If you've seen it, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Do you think it needs a sequel or not? Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe if you to come in the future, and I'll see you all later.